Welcome to Fuchsia Monster Hospital. Please sanitize your scales. I'm going to be your doctor today. It looks like you spent a great deal of time fighting an additional monster, so we will need to check for some infections. We will need to look for infections, bruising, bleeding, scars, and prevent future scarring, because we want you to be able to be at full capacity to fight additional monsters. Just go ahead. Alright. Yes, these are plastic. They contain no latex, because I know that multiple monsters, such as yourself, are allergic to latex. And the powders that are typically on latex gloves. So we want to make sure of that we take care of you. Yes. Excellent. Well, we're going to do an intake assessment on, first of all, discuss the monster battle, and then we're going to figure out how you are doing mentally, physically, how you are doing emotionally as well. So we want to make sure that we are covering all our bases so we can be strong and ready to fight additional monsters. Okay, well, can I have your name? Okay. And is that with an E? Okay. And, what began the battle between the other monster? Really? Okay. What was the name of the monster you fought against? Now we try to, keep a record of all of the monsters that our monsters fight against, and the monster that fought against them. Yeah. Listen, we can make sure they don't catch anything from each other. We make sure that after all is said and done, that there is no further infection, that there is no bleeding from either party. Right. What was the name of the monster? Excellent. So we don't have that monster in our system, so we will have additional questions to ask you. What kind of monster did you fight against? And is that with an E? Great. Now, and you said the initial fight was begun in the in the left side of the house. So this was in a house versus a skyscraper or a city square. This was inside. Great, okay. Was the monster that you fought against a flying monster? No wings? Okay. Okay, how were its talons? Its talons. The talons on the monster. How were its talons? Do you have long talons? Long talons. Any, scales on this monster? No scales. Alright, how are you doing mentally after this? Are you feeling proud? Are you feeling worried? Are you feeling scared? Are you feeling excited or enraged? Okay. So you were feeling happy. You were triumphant in this battle. Excellent, great job, good for you. Great. In this battle, did you find that you had any anxiety preceding the battle? Anxiety preceding the battle? And what did you eat before... Yes, what did you eat before the battle? Yes, that is delicious, but it can cause quite a bit of anxiety in most monsters. Yes, we have found that to be an issue. You aren't going to want to eat that again before a battle. It is not very good emotionally for a monster. Correct. Okay, so you did. Great. So let's go ahead and phase that out of your diet. It will not be good for your diet. You're gonna not want to have that in your diet. It can cause additional issues. Beyond the emotional issues, it can also cause quite a bit of upset stomach through the battle. Yes. Now, do you have any allergies that I need to be aware of? Aside from the latex, correct? Yes, that's correct. Correct. No, that shouldn't be too much of an issue, no. Okay, and with those allergies, have you found that you've had any issues post-battle? Okay, correct, yes. Alright. Can I have your birthday? Great. Alright. So you are immortal. Okay, immortal unless deadly blow by talons. Okay. So we will need to look into that. Right. Now, do you have an address? Do you have a nest? Do you have a castle? Do you have a bungalow? Maybe a cabin? Do you have a hideout or any secret passageways that we need to know about? Because these things can impact the checkup that we are going to take today. Yes, environmental surroundings can impact our monsters. If you are uncomfortable sharing your hideout, you don't need to name the exact location. Anything sort of detailing what kind of environment it is. Oh, it's a cave. A great place. Yes. Yes, it's nice, cold and damp. Dark, spooky, excellent for your physical monster makeup, yes. Great. Alright, well, I think that's all of the notes I need to take on your case. Alright. Well, we're going to have to measure your wounds. Yes. We like to measure your wounds, get an idea of the relative sizing of the bruising, just so we can get an idea of how we should treat it, if we needed to do any stitching, sutures, what have you. That's correct. Alright, well, let's get started. Okay. Okay, well. Oh my. Well. Yes, that's looking rather troubling, especially with the talons. Okay. Now let me know if this impacts your feeling at all. If this causes you any pain, because I will be touching you with the measuring. Yes. Let me see. That's a large bruise. That looks pretty bad. Oh dear. Well, I will have to take some notes on that one. Exactly. Large bruise. It's about 4 feet in diameter. That's not good. Alright. Well, okay. Now I'm going to have some ocular tests for you to partake in. Yes, that's correct. So, can you tell me how many fingers I'm holding up? How many fingers over here? How many over here? And how many here? Great. How many fingers? How many fingers? How many fingers am I holding up? How many fingers? How many fingers? How many fingers? How many fingers? Okay, how about over here? How many fingers am I holding up? How many fingers? Yes. Right. How many fingers? So we are having some ocular issues, just a little bit. Well, I'm going to ask you to follow my fingers, alright? Is that going to be too much of an issue? No, okay. Alright. I want you to look at this finger. This one right here. Alright? Follow the finger. Are you following it? Yes, the other finger can be quite distracting, this little finger right here. But we're going to have you, we're going to try and see how you are doing cognitively. So we will need you to follow this one right here, yeah. Alright. Yep. Yes. Okay. Excellent. Okay, we will be prescribing some medication for this issue. It should be fine after a few days. I'm only going to give you a 3-day supply, just 3 days. After that, you should be fine. If you are seeing additional issues with your sight and your cognitive abilities between the eyes and the brain, come back and see us. Yes, because if it continues after the medication, that's something that will be quite concerning. So if you have that, you can come back. All right. Now, we're going to do additional tests and going to observe further at how your wounds are reacting. So we're going to be using this solution, and it will, we'll see how your scales react. Are you comfortable with this procedure? Wonderful. Yes, this solution does tend to give us some issues. The sediment kind of falls to the bottom quite quickly. Great. It should be ready to go. And I'm going to spray this on you. So it will be a little cold, but as you are a cave-dwelling monster, this should not be too alarming to you. But be aware, it is quite cold. Now this one might sting a little bit. If it is too much, let me know. Excellent. Now, that should numb some of the areas a little bit so that we can go ahead and hammer the scales back in place. Correct? Yes. Did you feel that? Okay, let's get some more of the spray. Yes, some of our monsters are not very sensitive to the solution. I apologize for how long it takes to stir up the solution. The machine that we have that keeps it in a constant state of shaking has shut down. It broke. Yes, that's correct. It got caught on an additional monster's talons. Talons are quite a bit of an issue. Alright, let's go back in there. Alright, now you might want to close your eyes. I don't want to get it into your eyes. Yes, all 5 of them. Now, I'm gonna come back in to those scales, okay? Alright, are you ready? Can you feel this? No? Excellent. Okay, let's get those scales back in place. should be good. I need to take some additional notes now. Right. Correct. Okay. When you leave this office, will you promise to stop eating apples? Yes, they are not good for you. No apples. Great. Yes, and this will mean that you need to avoid orchards. Correct. Alright, with your scales, I will need you to apply just a little bit of ointment, which I will also prescribe. I will need you to apply this topical solution to your scales 3 times a day, and take a special pill for the ocular issues for only 3 days. Here's your prescription. I don't know how well you can read this, but the pharmacist should be able to handle this. Here you go. Great. Well, that looks like all we have to do today. Well, that should be it. If you have additional issues, make sure to call us. Call us immediately if you are experiencing ocular issues beyond the 3-day supply of the medication we have prescribed. Correct. Right. And don't forget 3 times a day. 3 times a day with the ointment. Great. Well, that looks like it. Make sure to get plenty of rest. I don't think you should be fighting any additional battles within the next 2 weeks. 2 weeks of rest is probably best in your condition. Yes, we don't want you to come back with additional injuries beyond what you already have. Yes. Well, that looks like that's about it. Do you have someone to drive you back to the cave? You do? Okay, excellent. Have them drive you, and take it easy. Alright, well, I'll see you next time.